Ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you something. Nobody gets it right the first time. Nobody. You think the greatest athletes, the biggest CEOs, the most successful artists woke up one day and just had it all figured out? No. They fell, they failed, they messed up so many times it would make your head spin. But you know what? They never stopped trying. Mistakes are an inevitable part of life, and they play a crucial role in shaping who we become. Every mistake carries with it a lesson, a hidden opportunity to learn, improve, and grow. Without mistakes, progress would be impossible. The path to greatness is not smooth. It is rough, unpredictable, and often discouraging. But if there is one truth that history, experience, and success stories have proven over and over again, it is this: no one achieves greatness without first stumbling. Think about the greatest inventors, athletes, leaders, and artists. Every single one of them has encountered failure at some point in their journey. Thomas Edison, the man who gave the world the electric light bulb, failed thousands of times before getting it right. Each failure was a stepping stone, pushing him closer to his breakthrough. He didn't see failure as an endpoint, but as a necessary process to uncover what worked. That is the mindset that separates those who succeed from those who give up too soon. Mistakes are not roadblocks. They are checkpoints, reminders that you are in motion, that you are striving for something bigger than yourself. When you stumble, it can feel like the world is against you. It can feel like you are not good enough, like you should quit while you're ahead. But let me tell you something. Stumbling is not a sign of weakness. It is a sign that you are pushing your limits. It is proof that you are stepping outside of your comfort zone. And growth only happens when you are willing to leave that comfort zone behind. The muscles of success are built through resistance. No one becomes strong without first struggling to lift the weight. No one becomes wise without first making errors in judgment. No one becomes great without first experiencing failure. The beauty of mistakes lies in what they teach you. They show you what doesn't work so you can find what does. They build resilience, the ability to stand back up and keep moving forward despite the setbacks. Every stumble refines your character, your patience, your determination. You become stronger not because you never failed, but because you learned how to rise each time you did. This is what separates champions from spectators. Champions embrace their mistakes and use them as fuel. Spectators let mistakes paralyze them. The world does not reward perfection, it rewards persistence. It rewards those who fall and still get back up. The greatest achievements in history are built on the backs of countless failures, countless wrong turns, and countless lessons learned the hard way. So, when you make a mistake, don't let it break you. Don't let it make you doubt yourself. Instead, recognize it for what it is: a stepping stone, a lesson, an opportunity. Because in the end, greatness is not reserved for those who never stumble. It is reserved for those who refuse to stay down. Fear of mistakes is one of the greatest obstacles to success. It keeps people trapped in their comfort zones, afraid to take risks, afraid to fail, afraid to look foolish. But the truth is, no one ever achieved anything great by playing it safe. Real progress, the kind that transforms lives, careers, and destinies, only happens when you step outside of what is familiar, when you embrace the uncertainty of the unknown, and when you understand that mistakes are not the enemy. They are the teachers, the guides, and the necessary stepping stones to something greater. Comfort zones feel safe. They feel familiar. But they are also prisons. When you stay inside them, you stop growing. You stop challenging yourself. You settle for what is easy instead of reaching for what is possible. Think about a child learning to walk. If that child refused to take a step because they were afraid of falling, they would never learn. But they try. They stumble, they fall, and then they get back up. And each time they do, they get stronger, steadier, and more confident. That is how progress works. Growth does not come from staying still. It comes from movement, from risk, from daring to be uncomfortable. People who fear mistakes often wait for the perfect moment before they take action. They wait until they feel ready, until they have all the answers, until they are sure they won't fail. But perfection is an illusion, and waiting for the perfect moment is just another way of avoiding the work. The only way to truly learn, to truly improve, is by doing. By trying, by failing, and by adjusting along the way. No one ever became a master at anything without first being a beginner. No one ever reached the top without first stumbling at the bottom. And no one ever made progress by staying where they were. Stepping outside of your comfort zone means taking risks. It means putting yourself in situations where you don't have all the answers, where failure is possible, where you might fall short. But in those moments, you are also giving yourself the chance to succeed. Every challenge you face forces you to grow stronger, more skilled, and more resilient. The greatest innovators, leaders, and creators in history are not the ones who never failed. They are the ones who refuse to let failure stop them. They are the ones who understood that mistakes are part of the journey, not the end of it. The people who never move forward in life are the ones who let fear control them. They let the fear of mistakes keep them from taking chances, from chasing their dreams, from stepping into their true potential. But the people who embrace mistakes, who see them as part of the process, are the ones who rise, who grow, and who succeed. Progress demands courage. It demands that you step beyond what is easy, what is safe, what is comfortable. Because only when you are willing to risk failure do you give yourself the opportunity to achieve greatness. Mistakes are often misunderstood. Many people see them as signs of failure, as proof that they are not good enough, not smart enough, or not capable enough. But this way of thinking is the real mistake. The truth is, mistakes are not signs of weakness. They are lessons in disguise. They are the hidden teachers that shape us, strengthen us, and prepare us for success in ways that smooth sailing never could. Every setback carries a message, a lesson that, if embraced, can turn failure into fuel for growth. Consider the people who have achieved greatness in any field. Their paths were never free of mistakes. Instead, they were filled with obstacles, wrong turns, and failures. The difference between those who succeed and those who don't is not the absence of mistakes. It is how they respond to them. Some people let mistakes defeat them, make them doubt themselves, and cause them to quit. Others look at mistakes as opportunities, as valuable experiences that teach them what they need to know to move forward. A mistake is not the end of the road. It is a signpost pointing in a new direction. It is feedback. It tells you what didn't work so you can adjust and try again with more wisdom. This is how progress happens. The greatest lessons in life don't come from success alone. They come from the moments that challenge you, the moments that force you to rethink, to adapt, and to grow. Mistakes teach resilience. They teach problem solving. They teach patience. And most importantly, they teach you about yourself, your strengths, your weaknesses, and your ability to overcome adversity. Think about the process of learning anything new. Whether it's riding a bike, mastering a skill, or building a business, mistakes are part of the journey. Imagine a child who falls while learning to walk. That child doesn't think, maybe walking isn't for me. No, they get up and try again, because that's how learning works. Somewhere along the way, as people grow older, they start to believe that mistakes are something to be ashamed of. But in reality, the most successful people are the ones who never stop learning from their mistakes. They don't fear them, they embrace them. Setbacks are never wasted if you pay attention to what they are trying to teach you. If you lose an opportunity, ask yourself why. If you fail at something, look at what went wrong. Every mistake holds an answer, a key to doing better next time. The moment you start seeing mistakes as stepping stones rather than barriers, everything changes. They stop being something to fear and start being something to value. Because every mistake, every setback, every failure is shaping you into the person you are meant to become. And in the end, success isn't about never making mistakes. It's about never letting mistakes stop you from moving forward. Fear of failure is one of the biggest reasons people give up on their dreams. The moment things get hard, the moment they face rejection, the moment they experience setbacks, doubt starts creeping in. They start telling themselves that maybe they are not good enough. Maybe this isn't meant for them. Maybe they should stop before they embarrass themselves. And just like that, they walk away, not because they couldn't succeed, but because they were too afraid to fail again. But the truth is, failure is never the end of the road unless you allow it to be. Failure only wins if you stop trying. Every success story you see today is built on a foundation of failures. The people who achieve greatness are not the ones who never failed, but the ones who refused to quit when they did. Think about the greatest athletes, the biggest entrepreneurs, the most celebrated artists. Every single one of them has failed, sometimes more times than they can count. But instead of seeing failure as a sign to stop, they saw it as a lesson, a stepping stone, a necessary part of the process. They understood that the only way to truly fail is to give up before the breakthrough happens. The reason failure feels so intimidating is because society has conditioned people to believe that it is something to be ashamed of. From a young age, people are taught to avoid mistakes, to seek perfection, to fear falling short. But that mindset is the real problem. Failure is not the opposite of success. It is a part of it. Every mistake, every setback, every rejection is simply a redirection, guiding you toward a better approach, a stronger mindset, a deeper level of resilience. The people who make it to the top are not the ones who never stumbled. They are the ones who stumbled and kept going anyway. Many people quit too soon, not realizing how close they were to success. They stop digging just inches away from striking gold. They walk away from opportunities that could have changed their lives because they allowed fear to control their actions. But failure is not something to fear, it is something to learn from. Failure is not something to fear, it is something to learn from. The most successful people in the world are not the most talented, the most gifted, or the luckiest. They are the most persistent. They are the ones who refuse to let failure define them. If you stop trying, failure wins. If you stop pushing forward, you never get to see what could have been. The only real failure in life is giving up before you've given yourself a fair chance. Mistakes are proof that you are in motion, that you are trying, that you are daring to do what most people are too afraid to attempt. So don't let failure stop you. Let it teach you. Let it strengthen you. Let it be the fire that fuels your determination to rise, to grow, and to keep moving forward. Because as long as you keep going, failure will never have the final say. Mistakes are often seen as a reflection of who we are, as if failing at something means we are failures ourselves. But that is not true. Mistakes do not define you. Your response to them does. Everyone, no matter how talented, intelligent, or hardworking, will face setbacks at some point. The difference between those who succeed and those who don't is not the absence of mistakes, but the way they handle them. The people who achieve greatness are not those who never fail, but those who refuse to let failure stop them. When mistakes happen, they create two choices: dwell on them or learn from them. Some people allow mistakes to consume them, to break their confidence, to make them question their abilities. They replay their failures over and over in their minds, letting doubt take control. They focus on what went wrong instead of looking at what can be done next. But successful people choose a different approach. They acknowledge their mistakes, take responsibility, and use them as lessons. They analyze what went wrong, adjust their strategies, and move forward with even more determination. Your response to mistakes shapes your future. If you let them discourage you, you will never reach your full potential. But if you treat them as stepping stones, you will grow stronger, wiser, and more prepared for what lies ahead. Every mistake carries a lesson, an opportunity to improve, to refine your skills, and to develop resilience. Some of the greatest breakthroughs in history came from mistakes that turned into discoveries. The difference was in the mindset of those who made them. They didn't see their mistakes as the end, they saw them as part of the journey. The truth is, nobody has everything figured out from the start. Every expert was once a beginner. Every master was once a student. The only way to get better is to keep going, to keep learning, and to keep refining yourself through experience. Some of the most successful people in the world failed over and over before they found their breakthrough. They didn't let their mistakes define them. Instead, they used them as fuel to push forward. Growth only happens when you embrace the learning process. Mistakes are not setbacks. They are proof that you are in motion, that you are trying, that you are challenging yourself. If you never make mistakes, it means you are not pushing your limits enough. It means you are staying too safe, too comfortable. Success is not about perfection. It's about persistence. It's about learning, adapting, and never allowing a mistake to make you stop believing in yourself. No matter what mistakes you have made, they do not have the power to define you. What defines you is how you respond. Will you let them hold you back, or will you use them to propel yourself forward? Keep going, keep learning, and success will follow. Because in the end, it's not about how many times you fall. It's about how many times you get back up and keep moving forward. Mistakes are not the enemy. Fear is. Fear of looking foolish, fear of not being good enough, fear of stepping up and falling flat on your face. But let me tell you right now, if you're making mistakes, that means you're in the game. That means you're swinging. That means you're out there doing what most people are too scared to even attempt. You will miss shots. You will lose deals. You will mess up opportunities, and people will laugh. They will doubt. They will say, I told you so, but hear me loud and clear. Failure is not final, quitting is. Every mistake you make teaches you something that success never could. It teaches you resilience. It teaches you patience. It teaches you grit. And most importantly, it teaches you what not to do the next time. So don't be afraid of mistakes. Don't run from them. Learn from them. Own them. And then get back up, adjust your crown, and try again. Because the only people who don't make mistakes are the ones who never even try. Keep going, keep fighting, keep trying. Because every mistake you make is just proof that you are one step closer to greatness. Thank you.